Hello everyone, my name is Tony Francola. I'm one of the co-founders of Acceleratio. Our today's topic is patch management with Acceleratio SysKit. So we are going to focus on how you can be better in gathering information about applications, updates, and cumulative updates installed across your network. SysKit is our brand new tool that helps administrators manage, monitor, and report on various kinds of servers. And let's jump into directly into the presentation. I have been doing development and system administration in Microsoft ecosystem for the last 16 years. I have been mostly focusing on Microsoft SharePoint and the Microsoft Office servers, so that's my primary area of expertise. So today there will be a bit more SharePoint than you might be used to, so we'll see some use cases regarding how you can use SharePoint for patch management and how you can monitor your SharePoint servers to see what kind of patches have been installed in your environment and your farms. Acceleratio is a software development company from Zagreb, Croatia. We are developing various kinds of enterprise monitoring software applications. SysKit is just one of them. We are working with the world's largest corporations, and we are helping them manage their data centers with our tools, monitoring not just Windows servers but also Citrix, remote desktop services, SharePoint, and other systems with our tools. So this is the today agenda. We are going to have a quick overview of our SysKit tool, and then I'm going to explain how you can use the tool, especially in patch management areas, and what kind of usages we can provide for these use cases. And then we are going to jump into demo, and you're going to see all these things in your how these things can be performed in the real environment. Our goal when we talk about patch management is to make sure that everything you have in your data center, in your environment, is up to date. As we all know, there has been like a lot of patches coming out of Microsoft, and it's our goal, and what you need to do as system admins, we need to ensure that everything we have is up to date and that we are using the latest recommended versions of software that we are using. For most cases, when it comes to Windows updates and updates of the core operating system, you are probably utilizing some tool to deploy all these updates automatically. When it comes to some more complex systems like Microsoft Dynamics CRM or Microsoft SharePoint, there are additional steps, and sometimes it's not that easy to find out if your system is up to date. So that's why we have a system in place that can help you detect all these updates, to check if you are up to date, if you are using the latest version of the tool, and then you can use whatever system that you have in place to deploy these updates automatically and push them to your servers or your workstations. As I said, SysKit is not just a patch management or a patch reporting system. We provide a lot of additional features, primarily for monitoring and reporting. Monitoring and reporting not just of basic systems or basic Windows systems, but also some additional things like Citrix, XenUp, and Zen desktop systems, remote desktop services, remote desktop gateways, all the additional SQL Exchange and SharePoint services that can run on top of your Windows server, and also workstation. Our system, as you can see on the screen, allows you to track your environment from a single central monitoring server. So there is no requirement for you to install anything or to install anything but the central monitoring server, and then the central monitoring server queries all the other systems and retrieves information and stores the information into the central database. So there is no need for agent installation. The system is completely agentless. If you are running a larger environment, or if you are running an environment that's like spread across different data centers in different regions across the globe, then yes, in that case you would need to deploy additional agents that are local to that data center or to that region, just to make sure that you are getting data fast enough, because sometimes if you're running a geo-distributed system, just the latency is going to prevent you from having one station. So in that case, we always work with our clients and help them build an infrastructure that's going to support monitoring multiple data centers and multiple stations across the globe. But in most scenarios where you are monitoring just one company or just one single location, only one central console needs to be installed. So this is very convenient for you, because then you don't need to update a number of agents across your organization, but just this one single console. Data is stored into a SQL Server database. In order to install it, you can use SQL Server Express. We have built-in data retention mechanisms that allow you to control the amount of data that you have in your database, because sometimes if you are monitoring a lot of systems, we sometimes see that people have a lot of data in the reporting database, and then we can help them optimize the data by retaining some of the stuff that's not important. We support various types of technologies, so this is just a short list of everything we do and everything we support. I'm not going to go into many details, but everything from Microsoft Systems, Citrix, VMware, and other vendors we can support. So everything that's based on Windows, we support that in our application. The goal here for us is to provide you a simple tool that can gather information for you, that can store that information to the database, and then provide you various kinds of reports, visualizations in commonly used formats, like you are a system admin, but then you might have a power user or a business user that does not want to use our application, and he or she wants to use an Excel file. So you can configure a system in such a way that a report is delivered via email in Excel format to this manager, and then she can use the Excel file to see the data that's important to her. So for example, if you are tracking employees and if you're tracking remote desktop usage and things like that, you can easily utilize these alerts and emails for other people. Performance monitoring. This includes all the important metrics like CPU, memory, network, disk, and typical stuff that make your computer run. Anything that's running on your system, including users and applications and system overall performance counters, we can gather for you and then show you in the report format, where you can analyze all these things in one single console. We also do a lot of auditing. We are going to see some of these audit reports today. These include all the potential intrusions to your system, like failed logins and suspected attacks, dictionary attacks to your system, where somebody's trying to hack or to guess passwords and things like that. So we can show you that, and we can also block some of the intrusions and block them on the firewall level to prevent this particular IP address to continue with the dictionary assault on your system. This is how the tool looks like. So we have two interfaces. What you are seeing on your screen right now is a Windows-based interface. We also have a web-based application, web-based companion that's pretty much providing information about the same stuff, but in the web interface, which is very convenient if you have users that do not have the ability to connect to remote desktop and see the Windows application. Then they can use any kind of browser or their iPad or other tablets to see the reports that they are interested into. It's also very convenient if you're running a television in your data center. Then you can publish these reports live on your television set, and then you can monitor your data center in real time. So when it comes to patch management, what we can provide you is a complete inventory of everything that's installed on any server or any workstation that's being monitored. So we can retrieve information from your environment and then show you the report in a readable format where you can analyze the details about all the applications that are installed, all the patches that are installed, and if this application is specific, like my favorite Microsoft SharePoint, where there are cumulative updates that update the system, and it's very important for you to make sure that every single server in your farm has been updated to the latest version and that you are running the same version across not just your farm but different farms in your environment, then a report like this one can come handy because we are aggregating all the data from all the servers that are being monitored, and you can create different kinds of reports to help you manage this environment. As I said, the system is agentless, but we can scale it to various different environments, and if you have a geo-distributed environment where part of your SharePoint servers are running in a different data center, then we can deploy additional agent in the data center to monitor this particular farm. And as I said before, like with all the other reports, you can use our inventory reports and schedule them to be delivered via email. We are going to see that in a demo in just a few minutes. One of the other reports that we provide, and this is closely connected to your event logs and information that we are retrieving from your systems. We can show you the total uptime for every single server in your environment, which is very important when you're planning future restarts and future patching and downtimes and things like that. So this report gives you a comprehensive information across your environment regarding the potential servers that have been restarted in recent days and things like that, so that you can plan for future reboots and updating of the systems. One additional report on top of that is not just the system uptime report that shows you only the total time that the system has been running without restarting, but we also can provide you with the restart log, which is a report that shows you information when a particular system or a particular PC or a particular server has been restarted or has been shut down. So if you're planning any downtime, this can be very useful. So you can see in the past, and you can, as you will see in the demo, you can adjust the time periods and see how and when and who has performed some planned or non-planned maintenance of the system, and do the report about that. So that's a quick overview, and it shows you what we can do in general. What I'm now going to do, I'm going to jump into demo. So what you're seeing now on your screen is my demo server. On this demo server, I have a SysKit, our application installed, and I'm going to fire it up. So if I go here, just double click on that. So it's going to load my Windows-based application, and it's going to show me the data that I already have in the system. So this is like monitoring a couple of demo servers, and then I'll be able to show you the information about patches that I have installed and overall system uptime. And what I'm going to do, I'm immediately going to jump into administration. So here I have a list of 99 servers that I'm currently monitoring across my demo environment. And the first thing I want to show you is how simple it is to add a new server to this rotation and how to add additional server to the monitoring pool. So as I said before, there is nothing to be installed. In order to add a new server, I just need to click on the Add button. This dialog allows me to select predefined organizational units or anything from your Active Directory. I'm going to click Next, and now I'm going to select one of my SharePoint servers that I want to add to the monitoring pool, in this case SharePoint 2010, and I'm just going to add that to the selected computers part. I'll just click finish, and the system is going to add this server to the database of all the servers. And now I just need to look for that one server in my search box, and I can see it here. So currently the server is offline because the agent is still trying to retrieve information about that, but as you can see on the screen, we already know that this server is Windows Server 2008 R2. We know the version and things like that, so it will take a couple of minutes for it to gather all the other important information about this server. One other thing that I can show you is how the information retrieval works. So if I jump into Manage part of our application, I can open the configuration screen called System Jobs. So our application has a number of jobs that run on the predefined schedule, so you're free to define the schedule and run these jobs in any kind of intervals that you prefer. There are two important jobs for today's story, and these are computer assets and software assets as you can see on your screen. So these two jobs are running on a predefined schedule. In my case, that's every 7 days, but if you just click Configure button, you can freely change this to be like every day or even some other more frequent period. So what these two jobs are doing, they're running on the schedule, and they're retrieving information about your environment. So computer assets are pretty much retrieving information about your hardware, including what kind of CPU is running in this server, what kind of how much memory does it have, how big are the disks, free disk space rate, and things like that. So this is all about hardware. And software assets are retrieving installed applications and installed updates. So in order for me to retrieve information about a particular server, I need to run this job, and then this job is going to retrieve information for me. If I go back to the reporting part, I have a dedicated section for inventory. So in the inventory part, I can see all the servers and everything that's related to disks, network adapters, applications installed, CPUs, printers, services running on the server, and stuff like that. So it's very easy for me to retrieve information and get information about all these objects. What I want to show you today is a couple of reports that we have built for people that want to know more about patches. And these two reports are, we call them applications per farm, because they are tracking usage or installed applications in the system. Just to give you a quick overview, so we have more than 100 reports that are already built into the system, but if something is missing, you can use our custom reports feature that allows you to easily create any kind of custom reports. So there are two ways of doing that. One is to use the built-in wizard to create a custom report, and the other way is to write an SQL query that goes directly to our database and retrieves information that you are looking for. If you have any specific data that you want to retrieve using our tool and you don't know how, you can just contact our support department, and we are going to assist you and provide you with a custom report definition. All the report definitions can be easily exported and imported, so we can create a report for you and send it to you via email. So what we are looking on the screen is a report that shows me all the applications installed on the computers that have been selected on the right-hand side in the filter box. But today I want to show you how easy it is to retrieve information, for example, about SharePoint, because that's something that I do a lot of the time. So So for example, here I want to show you how we can easily group information by farm. So this is a custom designator that shows me where exactly or which farm this server is part of, because we have a couple of SharePoint farms in this demo environment. So we want to split them, and each farm has multiple servers serving the farm. So that's why we can group by farm. And then what I can do, you see here, I have a lot of hotfixes that I'm currently not evaluating. I'm not interested to find out more about Windows Server hotfixes, but I want to learn more about SharePoint hotfixes. So I'm just going to create a custom filter and say I'm looking to find everything that's related with SharePoint Server. I could have built this query inside of a reporter already, but I'm just showing you how you can easily create a custom autofilter and easily show you the data that's inside. So once I have executed that filter, I can see my farms and I can see installed SharePoint bits. So in my case, I just want to make sure that all my SharePoint farms are up to date. Of course, the report does not show you that, but I just need to check this number. So if I'm running a SharePoint 2007, I need to make sure that SharePoint 2007 is at some patch level. So in this case, you can see that all my farms, all the members of the farm are on the same version, and that means that all the servers have been patched. Of course, there is a difference between servers running 2007 because they're on version 12, and 2010 they're on version 14, and 2013 they're on version 15. My next step, in case there was a discrepancy and that there were some servers with a different version or some servers that haven't been updated to the latest version, I would then identify these servers from, for example, the farm SP 2013. I would go to these servers, download the required cumulative update, and make sure that the server is up to date and running the latest version of SharePoint or a desired version of SharePoint in my environment. I already mentioned that if you don't want to jump into this application every day or every week to make sure this is up to date and everything is okay, you can easily create a schedule report. So I can run here and I can say, okay, deliver this report to me via schedule, and I can say, okay, this is my schedule, and I want this to be delivered via email. There is also an option for you to save this to file share, or you can also save this to a SharePoint document library if you have one. So let's say this is my custom report, and I'm just going to send this report to me, or I can include anybody else. And let's say I want this to be delivered to me on a daily basis or a weekly basis or something like that. So I just need to configure this to be delivered, and I can then save this, and I'm going to receive an Excel or PDF file to my email on a defined schedule, so I don't even need to log in here. I'll just receive everything in the Excel file. So I already mentioned that except for the list of patches and the list of updates installed, we can provide you with some additional things. So this is something we call event log reports, and I can go into system logs folder where I can see the complete list of all the restart events in my environment. I can then easily change the period. So for example, let's say that I'm interested to find out all the servers that have been restarted or rebooted, shut down, or something like that in the last 30 days. So as you can see here, I have a lot of servers, and let's say that I'm interested to find out more about my SharePoint 2016 environment. And if I take a look here, the system has been restarted a couple of times in the November time period. So maybe that was the time when SharePoint 2016 Beta 2 was released, and our colleagues were performing installation and configuration of the system. So This is perfectly normal and expected. So this is showing me that everything is as it should be, and that there is nothing to worry about for this particular server. But if in case I had some problems, or some system that does not perform well, maybe there is a problem, the system is restarting too often, or somebody is restarting the system, and then the restart log can help me diagnose or pinpoint to a particular problem that is causing this issue. I also have a different report for me. Just to clarify, everything here is you can filter on all these columns, and if you are interested in just restart events, if you are interested to find out what's happening in the test domain, so you can easily create your own custom filter and then just pinpoint to exact set of data that needs to be evaluated. If we jump into another report called System Uptime, this gives me an overview of everything that's happening, or entire quick glance on my entire environment. So if I want to find out for how long has my SharePoint 2016 server has been running, I can just filter out and see that the last reboot time was on December 7th at 9:42 a.m. and this system has been running for 2 days and 6 hours 51 minutes. So if I'm looking for computers that have been recently restarted, I just need to sort by last reboot time, and then I'll be able to see the servers that have been restarted recently. So for example, this particular server, MatPC, this is a workstation, has been restarted just 2 hours ago. And then of course we have some servers that have been running for, this one has been running for a year. It probably hasn't been patched so recently, and this one and the majority of our servers have been running for 61 days. So I'm guessing the last patch that was deployed to this particular set of servers was 61 days ago. So this is how you can get an overview of everything that's happening in the environment and all the restart events that happened to our system. Okay, so this gives you the quick overview when it comes to patching and detecting all the patches across your environment, how you can utilize these 3 reports to help you better understand the state of your environment and the things that are happening in your environment. So to summarize, today we have talked about necessity of patch management and what needs to be done in order to be prepared and to get an information across your environment. You can utilize our application to get reports in proper time, to get them on time before anything needs to be performed. So if you are looking for SharePoint, for example, SharePoint servers, Exchange servers, or SQL servers that haven't been patched for a long time, that are running some version that is not supported anymore, or if you know that there is a vulnerability that can jeopardize your system because it hasn't been patched to the latest service pack or cumulative pack, you can run a report across your environment to see if you have any servers like that. If you cannot find them, you can use the report to find out where these servers are and what needs to be done about them. So on top of that, with all the latest uptime and system restart event reports, you can be better organized and you can have information about latest maintenance windows that happened and who has performed the restarts, and then if there are any problems, you can then see what exactly has happened. If you have any questions, please feel free to send us an email to support@acceleratio.net or contact us via phone, email, chat, or any kind of channel that you can imagine, because we are all over the place and we are really working hard to ensure that you get the best support and that we get you up to date. If you have any specific questions regarding a specific situation in your environment, we can schedule a dedicated demo or a dedicated call to help you evaluate your situation. So thank you so much and have a nice day.